Wednesday, September 18th, and we're out at the site. The work on the main pitch is wrapping up, and we're continuing here on the parking lot, and then this will be the access road. And so you can see they've cut down into this area here where we had a bunch of stone installed by CLT, and they had their lumber yard here when we were doing the land clearing. Seems like a long time ago, but really it was only a few months. But now we're looking to build the driveway here, and you can see how much they've cut down below the level here, which the design for these paved areas calls for a pretty big layer. I can't remember the exact number. I'll go look at the plans, but it's something like 18 to 24 inches of gravel that's part of the layering that goes underneath this porous pavement. And then, so then the field itself is pretty level. For those of you that were out at the cookout on Saturday, you'll have seen that we made a ton of progress. So thanks everybody that came out. And yeah, here's kind of the main pitch. We have a little bit still to do up at the north end of the pitch here. Oh look, there's a hawk. So up at the north end of the pitch is going to be the pretty steep slope. Oh, and there's some geese enjoying our pond. So this is kind of the level of the pitch that you can kind of see here now. And down on this north end that goes down into the old gravel pit, we had in the design originally a retaining wall, which we're thinking will be much cheaper and just as cool to have a riprap slope. So riprap being like you've seen them before, like the kind of fist head-sized rocks that are used to stabilize a slope. So you do a 2-to-1 slope, and then you install a foot or two of the riprap down it. And so still sort of working on the change in the engineering plans, getting that approved by the town. But that is kind of what's left here. And so you'll notice, like up in the corner here, like they've cut up into that. That's going to be like that. That's going to be like a little grassy slope here. There's another little slope over here where I assume we'll send the opposition teams over there to sit on that little slope with the mosquitoes and whatnot, while we enjoy this over here. So you see they've kind of cut this slope in. Eventually the clubhouse is going to be up in here, but this is going to be a grassy slope that you can kind of stand up on top of or sit down on and enjoy the rugby. I mean, imagine, people running around here. It's going to be great. Us running around. And then again, this is the path here. There's some pretty sandy, or a layer of sand here, which is interesting. It's not a whole lot. We did meet with a agronomist, I guess it was, Jesse, last night. Hogan and I and Jim Shiminski and Richard Pfeffer were also out last night just to talk about what we're going to put on top of this compacted subbase before we lay the sod down on top of it. And it's a pretty complicated, there's some science behind it. You want to make sure that when we get a few heavy days of rain, this is, for all intents and purposes, pavement out here. So the water is not going to soak into it. There is a crown, so down the middle is 1.5 feet higher than on the sidelines here. And there's going to be stormwater filtration systems on both sides of this. But to get the rain that falls down on the field to flow off, to sheet off, is kind of a question of the soil. Do you put some drainage systems kind of under there? So we're talking through what the options are there. We want to make sure that, you know, it's not we got 2 days of rain, now we can't play on the pitch for a week while it settles down. But that was a good conversation, and we're going to talk with Jim and Jim Shiminski, the chair of our capital campaign, and also Greg Hogan. He is a PE, an engineer, licensed engineer, who is going to be overseeing the build out and just kind of making a lot of the day-to-day decisions and coordinating things with the contractors. I'll be helping him with from a project management perspective, and we're going to have a quick talk with those guys. I'm here with Greg Hogan and Jim Shiminski. We're at the work site here, and so Hogan, you are going to be overseeing the build out here. Can you give us a quick overview of where we're at right now and what's coming up next?
Yeah, so as you can see, they've done all the subgrade work, which means that basically from here on out, everything is going to be like down there at the pitch. It's pretty much at a grade. All we need to do is add loam and some drainage structures and actually some fill. No, not fill, but put the sod on top. And so that essentially is at grade. And then behind me to my right is they're working on the parking lot. So the next phase of the project is basically most likely building the parking lot, the access road, and then doing a lot of the conduit work for the electrical for our light poles, which we'll be putting in the infrastructure for future light poles, and then also lighting for the parking lot, and then also for the sprinkler system. So that's pretty much where we're at this point.
All right, and what kind of schedule are we looking at here?
Well, it all depends on the contract. Well, it's good weather, but it's my intention to get as much done this fall as possible. Mm-hmm. So hopefully get the parking lot done, paved, and everything. The only thing we would wait for in the spring is actually put the sod in and maybe some landscaping. But if all the planets are in alignment, I'd like to get as much done this fall because there's no reason to wait. Cool. We have a contractor that's willing and able, yep. And so let's get it done.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for everything. And I guess that brings us over, Jim, for planets being aligned.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm in charge of aligning planets. Yeah, I do that after work.
So where are we? Like, is there still, like, if people want to get involved, is there still opportunities for people to help support this project? Or
yeah.
Are we just swimming with money?
I wish we were swimming with money. Now, we're in the process right now. A lot of folks jumped in the preliminary stages of the project and helped us get off the ground. Now we're putting shovels in earth and we're moving it around, and we're running into significant dollars here. If people, I think it's really exciting. We've had 2 field parties. The one in June, people came out, saw the site. We weren't even close to this, and then last weekend we had a party out here and we were able to share this with people, and this is absolutely amazing. You walk down, and I welcome people to come out to the site. We're at 122 Two Rod Road. Drive up, get down and walk out on the field, and you can feel the excitement. If you are a rugby player, you were a rugby player, you can feel it here. And yeah, we need more funding. People stepped up in a lot of ways to start us and get us kicked off. If you can help us more, that would be great. If you could bring your pledges in earlier, that would be great, because right now the rubber is meeting the road. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we're getting this beautiful stretch of weather here, and And we've got a great contractor in Woods Excavation and ES Bolus and some other friends, and now we just need the funding to kind of make this thing happen. So really need the whole club to step up and chip in and make this happen. Right on. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Again, this is coming down to it now. We're really gonna try and blow this thing out here in the fall, but we need for everybody on the club at this point to kind of have a look at what you have contributed, what you've gotten from rugby out of your life. Like, now is the time to, if you've been kind of, I'll put in a little bit of money, but can you give a little bit more? Now is the time, because it's not going to come again, right? Like, this is going to happen here, and you want to be able to, when there's all grass and there's everybody's standing around with a beer in their hand, watching people play or running around playing, you want to be able to look out at it and feel that sense of ownership and pride, and know that, like, you gave a significant amount to this effort. So rugby's been a big special part of my life, and I'm happy to kind of contribute, and I know so many other people are as well. And I would just ask you to kind of look at what you've done, and just ask yourself, like, have I done everything that I can for the club to make this happen? Because it's going to be a really special place, and you don't want to be at that point where you're looking back at it thinking, oh man, I could have probably done a little bit more. So again, the link to the capital campaign page of our website is in the description below. So please do what you can to give back to the game that's given us all so much. Thanks for watching.